In this episode, we are going to talk about that how United Nations and Turkey brokered a grain deal between Russia and Ukraine amid Russia-Ukraine war, and thus saving this entire globe from the potential global food crisis.
Ukraine and Russia signed a deal Friday which will allow Kyiv to resume grain exports from Black Sea ports.
A deal has been signed to allow the resumption of grain shipments from Ukrainian ports on the Black Sea following months of Russian blockade.
Hi, my name is Anindita Ghoshal and I create content on international issues and history. And if you are interested in such topics, then you are welcome to my channel and do subscribe to get more updates. According to the World Food Programme, 811 million people are chronically hungry. 276 million are living on the brink of starvation and 49 million living in 43 countries on the brink of famine. The 2022 Global Report on Food Crisis estimates that about 800 million people in 41 countries and territories will be in a food crisis because of conflict, extreme weather conditions, economic shocks, including impact of COVID-19. Since the 8 months prior to the invasion, Ukraine had shipped 51 million tons of grains through her ports, according to the United Nations Food Programme. In 2020, Ukraine became the first top supplier in the World Food Programme. Ukraine is considered as the food basket of the world, and as Ukraine was invaded, as there is a full-scale war on Ukraine, there is a risk of food crisis because of it. With the blockade of Ukrainian ports and the damaging rail networks, Ukrainian grains were on the risk of decay. During the invasion, Ukraine had complained that Russia had stolen their grains, and many Ukrainian farmers had allegedly said that these Russians had actually stolen, destroyed Ukrainian grains. Russia, on the other hand, blamed the West for the sanctions and said that because of sanctions, Russia can't ship their grains too. To that response, West had denied this allegation and said that there is no sanctions on food items and fertilizer. The sanctions on Russia is on Russian gas and Russian oil. At Istanbul, both the parties had agreed to a deal. Kyiv had clearly mentioned that they did not sign a direct agreement with Russia. So what happened was, that Ukraine had first signed a separate deal with the United Nations and Turkey, and then Russia signed a separate deal with United Nations and Turkey individually. So what was the condition as far as both the parties were agreed? So conditions were that grain ships would navigate through a safe border at the Black Sea under the direction of the Ukrainian pilot. The ships from Ukraine will first land to the Bosphorus Strait, which is at Turkey, and it is considered as one of the important shipping corridor in Turkey. Vessels would be inspected by Russian, Ukrainian and Turkish officials to ensure that no weapons are smuggled through these vessels. Also, ships are to be monitored by JCC. JCC, it means Joint Coordinate Center, which is supposed to be at Istanbul, and it includes the representative of 3 countries, which means that they would include Ukrainian, Russian and Turkish officials. So as far as this deal is concerned, this deal is is successful, as it seems that after that the first vessel had gone through Odessa port, and afterwards they have reached to the countries like Lebanon, Yemen, in some of the African countries the Ukrainian ships had reached. So we can say that this deal is successful now, as both the countries had agreed that something needed to be done in order to save the country from the food crisis. Also, let's hope that another crisis is also growing up, which is in Zaporizhia, and if something happens at Zaporizhia, it will bring up the entire world will be on the brink of the nuclear disaster, and we can hope that some consensus or something can be, some way out can be navigated, so that things could be normalized. So this is it for today. I hope you like my episode, and if you like this episode, then please go to my channel, visit other videos also, and subscribe and share my channel to everybody. Thank you.